Why are we here in the middle of nowhere, Whiteville, North Carolina? I'm Casey Flores, editor of Window Film Magazine, and behind me is MaxPro Window Films. 13 years ago, this plant was built and is still the newest window film manufacturing plant in America. We're here to find out what goes on behind the scenes. We started our tour talking with Ron Foley, Vice President of Production here, about the technical goings-on here at the plant.
We are in our coating laminating room. We have a 72-inch wide coater laminator. It runs window film and other industrial products. We have a couple different coating methods, gravure coating, slot die. We'll first do a laminating pass, and today we're doing the SR pass, so we're applying the scratch-resistant coating to it. This is an overview of our machine right here. Product is unwound from this roll. It goes through our cleaning heads, applies our coating, then goes upstairs. The material is leaving our oven with the scratch-resistant coating on it. It's still liquid at this point. Our ultraviolet lamps are right here. As soon as it hits those lamps, it's solid. So we're winding the roll here. This is a 20,000-foot roll of film. We can see one of our inspection areas. When we designed the machine, we made it real easy to walk around, and we can get several different views of the film. So if there's any kind of defects or color blotches or anything like that, we can see them pretty readily. So this is mid-process right now. So this SR roll will go on one of our racks. Keeps from getting dents and whatever on it, keeps them safe. As you can see, we have a ton of products that are on our racks at the moment, so we're in the middle of a process. So once the roll is finished, we just take it to this room here where it's unwound into 100-foot rolls. We also take samples off the machine, between passes or each roll change to check for quality. We're in our lab area. Josh is checking our scratch-resistant coating. He'll check it side to side, make sure that it's cured all the way on both sides. He'll cut samples to make sure that it has the appropriate coat weight. And then he'll do retained samples to keep for 10 years or whatever. So this is our fadeometer. We put our samples in there to simulate sunlight, accelerated weather testing. After a period of time, it will simulate a certain amount of hours of outdoor light.
Next, we caught up with familiar face Elizabeth Dillon, Vice President of Sales here at MaxPro, who showed us the warehouse and talked to us about what goes into shipping film all over the world.
Over here is where we stage all of our raw materials, preparing them for production. All of that is staged in this area, which is extremely close, to our machine room. We have 4 what we call bologna slicers. Some people call them a pickle machine, but they put it on the machine, cut it down to its specific width. We have a pretty unique inventory system that tells us daily how many rolls we have of every type of film we have and the sizes, and based off of sales and daily usage, we know what to restock them with every week. This is our staging area for all of our freight style orders that are on pallets that need to go, like I said, either to private label companies, our Arizona facilities, another distributor. We've got a presence in Europe, Asia, Central America, New Zealand, Australia, United States, of course, and our international presence is growing by the day. Again, we're a new manufacturer, and a lot of times it's just reputation. Them building that relationship with us building the relationship with them, and having the products that they need.
Finally, we sat down with President and CEO Joe Cobb, who founded this company 13 years ago and has a unique perspective on the window film industry at large. You have a long history in the window film industry. Can you tell us about that?
I was a CPA and had clients that were interested in starting a window film company. Set up the business plan, got the group of investors together and started the first company back in the mid-'80s. We sold that company Went through the same process about 5 years later in the mid-90s, set up another window film company, and we sold that company in 2007. I was supposedly retired. I had moved, I was going to play golf, and after about 5 years I ran into some folks who had connections in the window film industry, and we started MaxPro.
So you're a CPA, you're an accountant. What was the transition like from being kind of involved in window film businesses, coming up with the business plan, working with the financials, but then transitioning over to doing all of it, becoming the manufacturer?
As a CPA, you're kind of the referee. You're giving advice, you're doing projections, and now I'm a participant rather than a referee. And I have to take my own advice. And that's been an educational process. It looks good on paper, and then when you get into the real operation of it, it sometimes doesn't work out that way, and you have to make decisions on the fly and go from there.
We're kind of in the middle of nowhere here, Whiteville, North Carolina. How did MaxPro end up in this town?
I was living in Wilmington, North Carolina, which is about 45 minutes east of here. One of my co-founders, Ron Foley, and his father were living in Lumberton, which is about 30 miles west of here. And we found a building that was the right size, and they were glad to have us, and we got some incentives for being here. So that's why we ended up in Whiteville, North Carolina.
A lot of window film manufacturers are expanding capacity. You are currently expanding your Phoenix distribution center. What's going on there?
We are expanding our space out there probably, I guess, about 50%, for both automotive and architectural, and it's in paint protection. To come to where we are has been amazing. So we're growing. I don't know whether the industry's growing or not.
With a lot of window film manufacturers and suppliers adding capacity now, is there a concern of maybe some oversupply in the market, and how will that play out?
I don't know. Honestly, because you're right, there's been so much capacity that has come online in the last 5 or 6 years. There is a lot of new capacity now in China and Korea. It seems to be okay so far. The market seems to be absorbing that capacity at this point.
The world has shifted a lot in the last few years. Some countries have done better than others. What are your thoughts on the future of manufacturing in the U.S.? We're in a major reshoring push right now. What do you think the prospects are of a good future for the U.S. and manufacturing?
I'm optimistic. I know based on our experience with our people, these folks are hard workers, they're smart, they want to do a good job, they're proud of what they do. And given that attitude, I'm optimistic about the U.S.'s future in manufacturing.
What would you say is the hardest part about manufacturing?
Just the manufacturing part of it is probably the coordination of the raw materials. Not only to get the right components, you've got to get them at the right place at the right time so they come together. Components are sourced worldwide. It doesn't do us any good to have dyed film sitting here if we don't have release liner to put with it, or other film to laminate with it. So it's the coordination of getting the materials together at the time you want to put it on the machine to run it.
So you're kind of at the complete opposite end of the end users of this product, the window tinters. What would you tell them from 90,000 feet in the air?
Come visit manufacturer. I think then you will understand how difficult it is to make the product, so you'll have a better idea of why some films have more curl than others, why some films shrink better than others, why some films have better scratch resistant properties than others. I think you'll have a better understanding of the product you're dealing with. And our plant is open for anybody that wants to come anytime. Just give us a call.
13 years ago, you started this manufacturing plant at an age that a lot of people aren't working anymore. They're retired. So how do you do it?
It's like Thomas Jefferson said, it's only work if you'd rather be doing something else. And it's fun, it's stressful, the responsibility both for the people, the financial end of it, to start something from zero and get a group of people together that can grow it into what we've done. It's not hard to get up in the morning to see kind of what are we going to do next and what's tomorrow going to bring. It's just what I do.
That's it from MaxPro HQ. I'm Casey Flores, editor of Window Film Magazine. Thanks for watching.